Hello everyone, welcome to Codewell Tech. In this video, I will be explaining you arrays in JavaScript. I have Visual Studio Code open. Here we have index.html page where we have one div container div and two divs. One is original and one other one is to show the result. And here I am referring app.js file, and here I am accessing the two divs here, two spans, original and result, and these two spans I mean these two elements I am referring here, and I am having little bit CSS for styling purpose. Before we discuss what is an array, first we will check why we need an array. Let's say you want to store the three customers data in JavaScript. How you do? Normally you can use the strings like this. Let's say let customer 1 equal to is, and same way let. So like this. So when you have three customers, we created three variables and stored the data in three variables. But when you have 10 customers, you need to create the 10 variables. And if you have 50 customers, you have to create 50 variables. So in real time, you can't create a variable for each customer, and that will be tedious. And even that is not a good practice. So to avoid these situations, we have a data structure available in JavaScript, that is an array. So using array, you can save the data as a collection. Now let's see how to create an array. Constant customer, and customer is the variable name, and open brackets, close brackets. So this is the most commonly used way to create the array, and this is very simple way to create array. So how to store the data? Krish, and each value should be separated by the comma. Maru. So now customer array having the three elements, and now its length is 3. So how to check the length? Using length property. So what I do, I'll create a variable let log equal to console dot log. So here I assigned the console dot log function to the log variable so that we can avoid writing console log each time. So we can just simply write log of customers dot length. And how to run it? Go to index.html and right click, open it with the live server. Press F12. Now you can see length 3. Let me print customers. Here you can see that we have printed the customers, and here we observe array will give an index to the each element stored in it. So Chris is given 0th index, Maru is given first index, and Janu is given second index. So array will store the data in index format, and start index always will be 0. If you want to add an element to the array, you can use the method called push. Customers dot push. If you see the signature, it's accepting string array. Since we stored the values in string format, it's suggesting to add the item of string type, and you can add the array of strings. And it is saying appends new element to an array and returns the new length of array. What push method will do is it will add values to the end of an array and returns the new length after adding the element. Let's say Siva. Now if you go and save, you can see that now array length is 4, and you can see the customers Chris, Maru, Janu, Siva, and it is stored at the third index, means at the last index. And the push method will return the length. We can see that let size. So after adding the element to the array, it will return the new length of the array. You can see now if you go and print size, you can see that 4. So now we'll see another method called unshift. Customers dot unshift of unshift is almost same to push method, but it adds element at the start of an array. Unlike push method, it will add the element at the start of an array. You can see that Lata is added at the start of an array, means at the 0th index. Now, if you want to remove the element from the array, you can use the method called pop. Customers dot pop, and it doesn't accept any parameters. And what this will do, it will remove the last element from the array and returns the element that it is removed. So now in this case, it will remove the Siva which is added at the end and it will return the value Siva. Now you can see that let popped. Just go and print here. Now you can see that the popped is Siva and you can see Lata, Maru, Chris, Janu and you don't see that Siva now. Now we'll see shift method customers dot shift. It will remove the first element from an array and returns the element that it is removed. Same way as pop, but it removes the first element, whereas pop will remove the last element. Now you can see Lata has been removed and you have only Krish Maru Janu because we have removed the Siva also using pop method. Push method will use to add the element at the end of an array and pop method remove the element available at the end of an array, whereas unshift will add the element to the start of an array and whereas shift will remove the element from the start of an array, means it shift will remove the first element. So compared to unshift and shift, push and pop will give the better performance because so whenever you add an element using unshaped, what it will do, it will add the element at the start of an array and moves the position of other elements. Like it will add the Lata to the 0th index and Chris it will move to 0th to first index and it will move the Maru from 1 to second index and so on. So that's why push is faster compared to unshaped. Same way pop is faster compared to shift. So because whenever you remove the element using shift method, it will remove the first element, then it has to change the index position of remaining elements. Whereas pop, it will just remove the last element, so no need to change the position of the elements. So now we'll see some other important methods of an array. The first one is slice method. I just remove this code. So now we'll see what is slice method. So the slice method returns a shallow copy of an portion of an array into a new array object. The slice method will accept the start and end index. Now we'll see slice in action. So let's say const cust2 is equal to customers. So when you want to copy the array to another variable, we'll do like this. So cust2 is equal to customers. So now if you go and add the value to the cust2 dot push mic, if you print both customer and cust2, what will be the result? So we have two elements here, one is original and one is result. So I will display values on the screen instead of console. org dot inner html equal to customers. So it will always have the original value, that is Chris, Maru and Janu, and the result will have the so result dot inner html will have the result. You can see that Chris, Maru, Janu and Mike, and Chris, Maru, Janu, Mike. So both arrays are containing the same values, which means whenever we added the mic to the cust2, it is added to the customer also. So which means whatever the operation we did on customer 2, that affected the customers also. So this is called reference type. So because cust and customers both are having the reference, so in JavaScript arrays and objects are reference type. So whenever you make changes to one object, another object get affected. So to break this reference, you can use the method called slice because slice will give the shallow copy and it always returns the new array. So now if we go and save it, so whatever the changes you made to cust2, now we are pushing to mic, but that doesn't affect the original array. Now you can see original array containing only Chris, Maru, Janu, and whereas the result is containing Chris, Maru, Janu, and Mike. So I will just change this color of the result. Customers dot slice, and if you see the slice signature, it will accept the two parameters, and of course these two are optional, and start index and end index. Start is always a zero based index at which the extraction will start. The slice method will extract up to the end index, but it will not include the end index. So we'll see what does it mean. Let's say I give 1 comma 3. So when you give the 1 comma 3, and I'll assign this one to now in the result and see what it will be. So you can see that Maru and Janu means this is the original and it started from the index 1, 0 and 1, and from 1 to 3 means 1, as I said. So it doesn't include the element that is available at the third index. It just extract up to the third index means till the second index. Maru is first index and Janu at the second index. So that's why it is given Maru and Janu. The same way, constant cust 4 equal to customers dot slice of. If we just give only start index, just if left one like this, and what will happen whenever you don't provide the end index and we just provide the start index, it will slice and give the array from the first index to rest of the array. So that's why you can see Maru Janu it given. We can provide the native index to the array also. So before we see that, I just add one more element. 5 equal to customers dot slice of -1. So now if we go and print, what will be result? And we need to assign this to this one. Yeah. So when you give the -1, it will give the last element from an array. So whenever you provide the native index, it will start extraction from the end. So from the end it will start, and you can see from the end -1 means 1 here, and from here it will extract from the sequence. From the end, -1 means from the mic the one, and from here it will extract in the sequence. So it will just give the mic, and if you provide the -2, what it will do, you can see it will give the value from the Janu 1, -1, -2, and from here it will extract in the sequence like this. Now we'll see how to access the array element. Access the array elements by index. So you can just access using like this. Let's say log customers of 0. If you want to element available at the 0 index, you can provide the 0 index like this. Open brackets and close brackets, and in between you can provide the index. And the same way, if you want to access the last element, I told you you can use the slice method like this. Customers dot slice of -1 to get the last value, that is mic, and the slice method will return an array. So if instead of array, if you want to just get the element, you can use the property array length property like customers dot length -1 we have to give because index start with 0, so that's why we need to give -1. Now you will get mic. Now we'll show you how to iterate the array. So you can iterate the array using the for loop. Let's say for and let I equal to 0 and I less than, I always should be less than the customer length because index start from the 0. So that's why customers dot length -1, and each time you need to increment it I plus plus, and here you can provide console, not just, you can just add log of customers of I. And remember, we are using this log here because we assign the console log to the log variable. That's why we are using log. And log is not nothing new, it's just console log only. You can see that Krish, Lata, Pras, Maru, and Syamu. And even you can loop it using the while loop also. Say let I equal to 0, I equal to 0, and here you can write while I less than customers dot length, and here you can write and I plus plus. And now we'll see, save it. Chris, Lata, Pras, Maru, Sam, and Mike. Now we'll see some other important method that we use very often in our application development. let's say you want to find whether some person is available in the array or not. I want to check whether Lata is available in the array or not. So how to do that? So to do that, we can use the method called indexOf. If customers dot indexOf greater than minus 1, then log pros is found. Customers dot index of pros greater than minus 1. Here we don't have pros in this array. You can see that pros is not available here. Only Chris, Maru, Janu, Michael only is there, and pros is not available. So what this customer dot index of will do? So the index of will method, like in strings, I hope you have watched my strings video, and if not watched, please watch it, because array or strings are contain the same methods mostly. So like slice, index of, and last index of. So everything will work see in the same way. So if you didn't watch my strings video, please watch it. So index of will check for the first occurrence of the value that we are searching for in the array, and it will return the index of and that value. So whenever searching for the pros, it will check from the zeroth index, and it didn't find anything, then it will return the minus one. If it is found, it will return the value. Let's say instead of pros, I will pass Maru. Now what this will do, this customers dot index of Maru will return the one. You can see the one it returned. So it is minus greater than minus one, then it will log the value pros is found. Same way you can use the last index of also. So how to use the last index of? Copy it and paste. So the last index of also is saying pros is found. So what last index will do is it will give the last occurrence of Maru. So since we have only one Maru, it always give the value one. So let's say if I add one more value called Krish one more time, and if I try last index of Chris. So now what the customers that last index of will do, it will give the last occurrence of Chris. So because Chris is available at zero index, and also one fourth index also it is available. So if we go and press type this one, it will give the third index, because 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is available at third index also. And another important method is includes. Index of and last index of will return the index value of a searching item if it is found. Otherwise, they will return minus one. But whereas includes, it will return the true or false. You can see that log of customers dot includes Maru. This will return true. It just return the true or false. Let's say if I give just MA or, and it will give the false because it is case sensitive. So we need to provide the value as it is. So now it is give false or Maru or something. Let's say Ram, and it will give the false because it is not available. Customers dot to string. So what it will do, it will convert the array to the string. Now you can see that it converted array to the string. So we have seen that we can access the elements using the index like this log customers of 0. So like this you can access the elements. The same way you can assign the elements using the index also, like customers of 0 equal to, so you can replace the element that is available at the first index, which means 0 index. So how to do that, you can just give any value here. Sham customers, now Chris will be replaced by the Sham. Sham Maru. So this is how you can replace the value also, and this is how you can assign the value also. Now since we have, so now currently we have Sam, Maru, Janu, like, and Mike's means five values it is containing. So you can add the sixth value also using customers. Let's say customers of five fifth index, because fifth index, so equal to, now you can see it is added at the end. Now we'll see how for each will work. So what is for each method? So for each method calls a function once for each element in an array, and that is in order. So this is inbuilt method of array customers, and you can see that its signature, it is taking the callback function, and that will have the value, string, and index number. Value is the string because we have the string array, and if it is number, it will show the number. Now here we need to provide the callback function so that you want to call. So you can write here function, and here it function will accept the, you can see that callback function that will take the value as a string. So let's say value and comma index as a number. So you can provide, let's say, index like this. Now if we go here, you can print log available at index. If we go and save, you can see now that. So Chris is available at 0, Maru available at, so let's me give one space. We can see Chris available at 0, Maru available at 1, like this. So for each will accept the one function, and this function will receive the value and index. So for better reading purpose and also for unit testing purpose, you can write this callback function outside, and you can just pass this function to the for each. So how to write? You can just give one. You can write one function expression here. Let's say print names equal to function. In fact, you can just cut and paste this function. This is function expression, so that's why it is giving uncut reference cannot access the print names before it is initialized. Function expression cannot be called before it is initialized. So we need to move this implementation to above the for each. Now if you go and print, it will work. So Chris available at 0, same thing. So now this is cleaner, and somebody want to call this method also, they can call and test it. Now we will see how map method will work. Before we see the map method, I will just change the data of customers. So here I will create the array of objects. Let's say you have an array like this and you want to get all the IDs of the customers in array. So how to do that? So for that, normally you will do like let IDs and you use some empty array. Then you will use the for loop or for each loop. Array dot for each, inside that you can write function, or you can write the function expression. So what it will give, value comma index, and here what you'll do, you will push it id start push of value dot id, because it is object, so we need to provide that. So if you go and print, let's say rst dot inner HTML is equal to ID. You can see that 1, 2, 3 in the array format. You can see that 1, 2, 3. So using map, you can write the less code and get the same results. Say let map is equal to air dot map function, and the same as for each, this method also will take the callback function, and which will accept the value and index. So map, here you can write the function, and this one will take, as I said, value comma index. Here what you have to do is just return value dot id, and if you go and print using map, you get the same result. You can see here same thing, and even you can make it even more simple, like take the same thing and copy and paste, and using ES6 way, value comma function expression, value comma index, and here value dot id. See here, just a one line of code. So this is already there, that's why it is giving error. So let's say I just give. So this is just a single line of code, and you can see the same result. Now we'll see filter method. So now I just add one more property, age. I have added the new property called age, 34, 25, and 50. Like if you want to get the persons whose age is greater than 25, then you have to write so much logic using for each and for loops, but using filter you can do it easily. Let's say let something called result equal to a dot filter, same as map, this will also will take the callback function. So now we can write function here, and value comma index. I want the customers whose age is greater than 25. So how to write? So return value dot age greater than 25. So we want the customers whose age is greater than 25, and you need to return it. And now if you go and print the result, so because we have objects, it's not printing. So if you just console log, so log result, now you can see that it returned the two elements, zeroth element and first Krish and Janu, because these age is 34 and 50. It didn't return the Maru. So this is how we can use the filter, and even you can make this syntax even shorter, like map value comma index, and here you can mention value dot age greater than 25. That's it. And the result is already available, that's why it is giving error. I will mention result 1. So map method will return all the elements from array, but whereas filter method will return based on your condition. And we have even more advanced topics that I will cover in later session. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to channel.